Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another tutorial and we will be talking about everything blending. So we will be doing a whole lot of blending today, and you guys have been so sweet and beautiful asking more about this in the comments, and I thought I would make a dedicated episode where we can talk a little bit more in depth about different tips and tricks that you can use when you are blending bigger areas, different colors or different hues within one color family. So grab your markers, cuddle up and get cozy. I'm so excited to share this episode with you and turn this page into a colorful masterpiece. So let's get to it. So before we get into today's new tutorial, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart for your beautiful response to my videos and to my tutorials. I can't believe that you guys enjoy them so much and that you enjoy my coloring, the way that I explain it, and also my voice. This is a dream come true to me to have that kind of response to this little tutorial series, and it makes me so incredibly happy. So I wanted to thank all of you kind and beautiful souls for pouring your hearts out, opening up and letting me into your day, into your life. For that I am truly grateful. Also, I get so excited when you guys write me that you've tried out what we talk about in these videos and that you enjoy how you feel yourselves evolving, how your skills are evolving as well, and that just gives me the biggest joy. And for those of you that are watching these videos to relax, this world can be a pretty wild place. So it means a lot to me that you allow my coloring and this little session that we have here together to be part of your safe space. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. So today we will be talking a little bit more in depth about a topic that some of you have been asking me about in the comments, and that is blending. So we will do a lot of blending today. I've been searching out this image specifically for that reason, as there's a really cool background going on here, kind of like, at least this is how I interpreted it, kind of like this rainbow fantasy thing. A little bit like Alice in Wonderland. Mr. Doggo here with his little parachute and the chicken holding on for his dear life. And I thought that would be a great page for us to do a lot of blending. So today we will talk a little bit about some stuff that you can mind to have those hopefully seamless transitions from each color, and a little bit about how you can go about choosing which colors you want to use for your blending session. If it's a sunset, or if it's here like a rainbow thing, or if you want to do like kind of like this transition in wallpaper or clothes. This technique is really versatile and you can basically use it for anything. So without further ado, I would say let's get straight into coloring. And the fun part about blending is that you can really just go crazy with the colors that you enjoy the most. So I wanted to make each of these sections kind of like have its own theme, so that we can create some cool transitions with each section being its own color. So we will take a little inspiration from the rainbow and then take it from there and start out with the background. So what I like to do when I start out a picture like this, if it's sunset or if it's a background in general, is just to take a look at the swatch sheets and see kind of like in what direction I want to go. So as I said, I want each of these sections to have their own kind of color universe. So I would really like to see one purple, so we could have like a nice transition from purple and pink, and then have one that is more cool in different blue and green tones, then have a green to yellowish, and have an orange section, and then a very bright section at the end. So I think that could look pretty cool. So I want to start out with this really nice pink and purple transition. Purple, blue, green, orange. So I have here the little selection that we will start out with for the first section, and I rarely plan too much ahead. I simply go by what feels good, and looking at the color chart, I really want to start with this deep blue, going into the purple, and then ending it with this nice strong pink. So that will be the theme of this first little section, and we see where we go from there. So it really helps to line these markers up when you have an idea. I usually lie them aside and line them up in the direction I want to use them, because then I can just color freely. And the thing about blending is that you have to be fairly quick in between colors so that they don't dry, and that's really the trick about blending. So I'm gonna start with the darkest color, and in this case it's the aqua. It's the Antwerp blue, and then we're just going to go from there. So I'm going to line up the markers next to my coloring sheet. I have my colors lying here like this, and then we are ready to go. So starting with the Antwerp blue, I'm going to use this one first. This is super exciting. So here we go. And really, like I said, the trick about blending is to be fairly quick on your feet, because you do not want the alcohol to dry out, because that's what it's gonna make, when it stays wet, that's what's gonna make the colors really flow into each other. So I'm gonna start. I'm not going to pull this dark color too high, so I might just stop here and go straight over to the next color, which is the aquamarine. And then we're just going to make them blend into each other, and it really helps to layer pretty thick when it comes to blending. And something that I've noticed just by experience, if you go back with the previous color on top of that again, it's gonna blend really nicely. So you're really just building your color gradually. And then we're going to continue with the next one, which is the Robin's Blue Egg, which is very bright. Again, we will need to go over it a few times. And this is the part that can be a little stressful when it comes to blending, but just trust me, once you get the hang of it, you will love it. And it's all about just daring to jump into it and have zero fear. So I'm just gonna go back again with the previous color and make that transition just a little softer. And it really helps to use pretty light strokes here, because that will make the transition really nice and smooth. So I'm gonna go back with the robin's egg. And really help make it that nice transition into the brighter colors. I'm going to pull this one a little bit higher because we will be layering it with the next color. And as the ink dries, it will get brighter, so you can go a little over it again. So we're going to continue with the next one, which is the Frost Blue. And you see in the beginning it was really this harsh lines, and as you just build it, I can't forget to paint now. It just transitions into this very nice smooth flow of the colors. And don't be shy on really pushing a lot of ink into the paper, especially with this book. I feel like this paper is a little thicker than the other ones. I don't know if you have the same experience, but this book all in all is a little more like a real book. It has like a label and everything, so my guess is that it's just from a completely different print than the other books. And since the paper is thicker, it swallows a lot more ink, so blending on this one is extra challenging. So we're gonna start our transition into the purple hues now, and I'm really curious how that's gonna look, because I want to give a lot of space for the purple hues as well. And I really love how this blue came together. So I'm gonna overlay the purple and the blue a little bit, and then pull the purple pretty far up. And there's so many moments within coloring where I have to tell myself, just trust the process. It always turns out exactly how it was meant to be. So that looks pretty good already. I'm gonna go back a little bit with the previous color, the Frost Blue, and just make that transition even nicer. You almost end up having this own little color in the middle here. Just like that. And we're already making a very nice transition. I think I'm gonna pull the purple a little higher because it's pretty. like that. I'm gonna zoom in a little so that you see. So now we're gonna go in with the next purple tone, which is a much stronger one and a little slightly more warmer, the mauve, and just give it a light transition into the pink. Color the viola and again give that transition a nice, because what this does is basically making the paper wet again so the ink can fluidly mix with each other, and that looks really smooth. I'm gonna pull it up just a little further. This part will anyways be mixed in with a pink, like that, and I will have a look if we want to have a second stop before we go to the pink. So I think the pastel violet there could be a nice pit stop before we go into the, yes, because it's a slightly bit more pink, so it really picks up on that pink hue, making the transition nicer. So it's all about seeing how the ink really reacts to your paper and then trust your belly in where you want to go and see that the transitions are not too far away from each other. So we're gonna go back with mauve, make that transition also a little softer. And then bring it up slightly further. And then go into the light hot pink. Now I'm very curious how that's gonna go. It can be that this is gonna be a little too harsh. And there you see that the transition is a little rough, even if I now go back with the pastel violet. I feel like we should make another stop. Maybe the rose pink, which has really become a new favorite of mine. I just really love this hue a lot. So like that, and then we can go in with the light hot pink. And go back again with the previous color. And then end it all off with the shadow pink. That looks pretty cool. I feel like we could go a little bit more strong on pink and maybe end it rather with a pastel pink, maybe like a really strong pink. So we could take it from rose pink to vivid pink and then light violet, maybe? Because this feels just a little weird, and that's what I mean with you can really never truly plan too much ahead. So I'm gonna go in with the vivid pink and just pick up that and go back with the rose pink and the transition, and then end it with the light violet. And I'm very curious looks cool. It's like a really strong violet, more on the cool side, which make me think that maybe we should just pull the entire purple all the way up. Bringing the purple a little bit higher. So that looks pretty cool. I really like how we started. I'm not too sure about the end, but you can never know truly for sure when you start a picture like this. So we will make it work. For the next section, I would really love to do something similar, but with green. So this is the next little section that we will be doing. I'm trying out a whole lot of new color combinations with you guys today. I am so excited how this will look like. So we will start with this minty blue greens and then go over to the strong greens and end it with these green yellowish colors. So I will again just line up these at the bottom of my page, and I already love how that looks like. So this section might be a little easier because it's a little slimmer, so we will just start with the darkest color, which is the turquoise green light, and we're just gonna repeat the procedure from the other one. I'm going to continue with the horizon green. And this is just also such a great way to experiment with what colors look good together and just have fun seeing how they behave together. You will very quickly get a feeling for what looks good and what are kind of biting each other. Oh, I love this already. So I'm gonna pull this one a little higher. And then I'm gonna go in with the next one, which is the green shadow. And this one is slightly brighter. times, I'm gonna go back with the previous color and make that transition really nice and smooth. So, and then we will continue. Maybe pulling this one a little higher is always a little hard to know exactly where you want to stop. And then we take the next color, which is the first really strong green. It's like a horseradish. And you really see how the colors blend super smoothly into each other when the ink is still wet. So here I wouldn't even go over it again because it looks super smooth. And then I'm gonna go on with the next one, that is the Bud Green, which has been a real true favorite of mine for greenery lately. Oh, I just love this so much. So yummy. Like that. And then I'm gonna continue with the yellow green, which has this really nice warm bright green. And there the transition is a little harsh, so I'm just gonna go over it again with the previous color, some light strokes, and make it really nice. The cool part is that it makes these wave effects, which really looks like it's all 3D. It's a plus. So I'm gonna pull this one a little higher, just because I don't want this section with yellow to be too big. And it's always very nice to end it at a thin spot, because then in case it dries you won't see the transitions that well. So we're gonna continue with anise, which is a favorite spice of mine for any sweets. It's this really nice yellowish green. Pull this one up here. Then I'm gonna go over it again with the previous color, the yellow green, and just make the transition a little smoother. And then I will go in with the last color, which is the pale lemon yellow. I've never used this shade before. I'm really curious how it will turn out. So, since we have now the blue purplish part of the rainbow, my very loosely interpreted rainbow, I will continue with a red to orange. So, the next selection will be something in the means of this, and we will start with the brightest one this time. This will kind of mimic a little bit of a sunset, like this really warm, nice, rich sunset. I just love how these colors play with each other. It's really beautiful. I'm gonna pull this one all the way up and use the last part to blend with the next color. You don't see much difference now. It can be that you will see more when it dries. If not, we will just maybe go straight to the next color, which is the apricot. Yeah, that brings a little bit more dynamic to it, and we're just going to go in again with the previous color and blend it all. So I will continue with what I originally wanted to do, which is the quiche up here. Not pull it too high, but use that to blend with the next one, which is the apricot. I'm gonna use the calcium orange to blend this nicely together, and going in with the previous color to again blend that nicely. And there you have this very nice warm transition. And I'm gonna pull this all a little higher. Going in again with the apricot. Gonna turn into this really rich orange here. And then with the rouge orange, I'm very curious how that will turn out. So we're gonna end it with another deeper red to give it a little more depth. Before that, go back in again with the calcium orange to really mix that nicely together. And then I think we'll do so we start with the vermilion, and then I'm gonna end it with the coral red. I'm gonna go back in again with the rouge orange and blend that nicely. And you see that you get this really nice, rich, deep red. And then we're gonna end it with the coral. I don't think that's gonna be the right color. I think we should go rather with a rose red, because it's gonna be a little more stronger red. Because this one turns out to be, like the name says, coral red, but my swatch card it looks more like a deeper red. Oh, that looks beautiful. Wow. So I'm gonna go back over that again with the vermilion. Just like that. And you have this really nice blending transition. Looks almost like it's glowing. So for the last one, I'm gonna use a lavender pastel. So this is our little next collection. We will start with some really deep purples and then transition into these really nice pink hues. So I'm gonna start with the dark purple hues. And that already looks super cute. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do exactly the same again. I'm gonna start with go on with the mauve. Or maybe pastel violet. And then go back and back again to really make that nice seamless transition. I'm gonna pull this one a little bit higher. And then see if I maybe now go in with the mauve. And then continue with back once again with mauve. And then I'm gonna bring viola a little bit higher. And then start gradually blending it with the pink. And the more you're working the edge, the softer the transition will be. And make the transition nice and soft. And then as we've started going into the pink hues, we're going to continue with the dark blush. Oh, I love that. That looks so cute. And then continue with light prom, which is like a nice little darker shade to like that. And then the next color being the rose pink. And as you notice, we gotta be quick before the ink dries. I just love how this makes this really cute pink changes of hues. Like that. And then the next vivid pink. Now you see, the quicker you change between the colors, the easier the transitioning will be. And then the last color is the vivid reddish purple. And then we're gonna go back over it one more time with a pink to make this nice and seamless. Maybe we will drop it one bit darker with a vivid purple at the end to just give it that really nice last deep shadow. Just like that. Oh my god, that looks super cute. And as you see, we have now four completely different ways of blending different shades and different colors together and it's so much fun to play around with. And I think pages like these are just the most perfect playground to just let your imagination run free. It's really cool to work with the same color family, like here the different hues of green, or combine completely different ones, like here the purple and the pinks, or here the blue and the purple and the pinks. So that concludes our little blending session for today. I truly hope that you were able to pick up a few tips or just enjoyed blending together to just get some extra relaxation or practice. I enjoyed this page so much, and I'm really looking forward to continue the rest of the page with a different topic in the next tutorial. So I'm super curious how your pages turn out. Feel free to write me in the comments how you found this video, and if you have a picture of how your page turned out, I would be so happy if you would share it with me on Instagram. Just hit me up. This was so much fun. I love how these hues work together, and next time we will talk a little bit more about different coloring techniques that you can use for these details. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a beautiful, calm, relaxing night, and thank you so much for joining me on this blending session tutorial. It was so much fun, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!